centerpiece to me is Vocatitis down low. Matas Vocatitis has 3 20-plus point performances this year already. As the guard play stabilizes, as the rotations stabilize, and the depth emerges, the game's going to get easier for a guy like Vocatitis, who has come on quite a bit since his start last year at FAU. On the other side, it's a different look Mississippi State team. Chris Jans has always had a lot of dogs, right? Tough, big guys. This is more guard-dominated. Helps when one of them is Josh Hubbard, one of the best basketball players in college basketball. Also one of the best downright human beings. That's a guy you could follow. Mississippi State needs to get behind that man right there, Josh Hubbard, if they want to win.
Built like a running back, he plays as one of the top guards in America. The opening tip controlled by the Longhorns. And we are underway at Moody. Mississippi State an early steal, and here comes Sean Jones Jr. Hubbard off the bounce, a floater, no, and he was bumped in the process and will shoot 2. Tremont Mark picks up his first personal. And a starting 5 for the Bulldogs with Jones. Epps, a transfer from Georgetown. Hubbard's the second leading scorer in the SEC. Matsura, Quincy Ballard. Getting the job done for Chris Jans early. Hubbard, good free throw shooter, outstanding player. Can get one more. 81% on the season.
Sean Miller mentioned fouls. Fouls being an issue. We foul too much, and that was case in point on a jump shot.
John, for you as a player, league play arrives. Is it different? Does it feel different? You take a look, starting 5 for the Horns.
It is. It is different because in a way it is a new season. I think it's even more different now because you barely know who each other is by the time you get to conference play.
Mark gets the runner, and the Horns on the board with their first lead.
And I don't mean that you don't know other teams. You barely know your own team in the world of professional college basketball nowadays.
Mark scored 24 in the last meeting between these two last March. Game that went to overtime. And a big win for the Horns at the time that ended up making the NCAA tournament. 2-1 our score, minute in. Here's Epps from downtown and short, and the rebound controlled by Dalen Swain. Swain, the transfer from Xavier. Came in with Sean Miller. Vocatitis inside was bumped by Ballard. That's going to be his first.
Vocatitis gets fouled a lot, and a big piece of that, now not always called, but a big piece of that is him winning the position battle. So when you're watching this game and you start to see Vocatitis have a big impact on the game, look at his positioning first. That's often where he wins before he catches the ball.
Jordan Pope gets his first touch, starting point guard for the Longhorns. Step back 3. And controlled by Ballard off the board. Bulldogs coming off of 3 straight NCAA tournament appearances. Hubbard for 3.
There's not much more you can do defensively there. They were there.
Now Dalen Swain, the Euro, in attack mode. He'll shoot a pair. Bumped on the way up.
There's a lot of different things you can do. Show harder, maybe bounce him out. Vocatitis is going to play this flat. That means you've got to fight over the top and at least make him turn the corner into the big defender until you can get back in front. Now, I say that like it's easy. It ain't that easy.
No, it's easier said than done, my friend. Swain will get 2 free throws. 15 points per game, 77% at the line. By the way, that 3 for Josh Hubbard. About 61 consecutive games making a 3.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
That's a long streak.
Thanks for reminding me of how little I did in my career.
Hey, at least you had a career.
It's true. It's true.
You take a look. Program record before Josh Hubbard arrived from Madison, Mississippi. Darrell Wilson at 39 in a row. Hubbard again. Another 3. And an early heater for number 12, preseason All-SEC.
And you see defenders go, what am I supposed to do? Fight harder. That's the answer.
We fought harder last night at dinner. We've enjoyed our time here in Austin, have we not? Your first trip down.
Yeah, this is my first. This is absolutely awesome. This place is just an epic venue. And Salt Lake was pretty good last night, too.
Yeah, down at Driftwood, Texas. We enjoyed that. Ballard tries to jump hook. No. Poked out to Mark.
I had Bison.
You did have Bison. That's the first time you've ever had Bison, or no?
I didn't know it was legal.
Mark with a mid-range. Well, that really is his specialty these days, isn't it?
Yeah, he's just so tough once he gets inside the paint. He's a tough shot maker from the 10, 15-foot area.
7-6 early. Outside to Epps. Attacking Pope. And Epps, the quick trigger, no. The rebound to Swain. 1-on-3 the other way. Heidi gives it up to Jordan Pope. Corner three, no. And it finally lands in the hands of Ballard. Quincy Ballard certainly is a specimen. It's a rebounder, potential point scorer. Plenty of size in Hubbard. Crafty way to rebound that time for 15 in black.
Well, just keep it alive.
Epps on the attack, make it 9-6.
I still think, as good as it is to see other guys get involved, if Josh Hubbard hits 2 threes in a row, he's the next person to take a shot. I want him to create. We play so much more, and I mentioned this, more of a skill-based game, pro-style game. Well, the real pros go back to the hot hand. They've got to find a way to continue to play to Josh Hubbard when he's hitting.
Well, it sounds simple, really. It's not
really,
bad.
Right?
It's not rocket science. It's basketball.
Especially when he has the ball in his hands.
He's got it here. Short on the deep triple, and now Pope has it.
And I would argue he took a bad shot because he didn't get the ball the last time down floor.
Offensive foul. You called it. Pat Adams, a veteran officiating crew, as Jordan Pope picks up his first personal, along with Todd Austin, Will Howard, and that's Chris Jans, year 4. I mean, think about what he's done. At least 21 wins in each of his first 3 years. 3 consecutive NCAA tournament appearances, John. You go back 13 years, Bulldogs had one trip to the dance before he arrived.
The man has had nothing but success, and he's got a unique background. He's got a unique approach. I love that John Rothstein, I think he's the one that came up with it, called him the dentist.
Yeah, but that's not fair anymore.
But this team's a little different. It's not really a pleasant dentist. I don't know if that exists, but this is a more guard-dominated team with one of the best players on the floor, arguably on any given night, and that makes you different. A lot of junkyard dogs on those last 3 teams that have gone to the NCAA tournament.
Maury McGee was tripped up, and he's going to be fouled by Heidi. Camden going to pick up his first.
I think it's the new world is probably the hardest for people like Chris Jans, where it's like we have a certain way of doing things that becomes part of our culture, but it's also our identity. You've got to recruit to that identity and maintain that culture. It's hard to do when you don't have guys for that long.
Epps penetrating, easy floater is good, 11-6. Good start for the visitors from Stark Vegas.
Well, if you can't contain the basketball off the bounce, you're going to have a tough time in the game today. And so far, Texas has struggled to contain the basketball off the bounce. Mississippi State's gotten it wherever they wanted it to go.
Open 3 for Swain. 11-9. Now the Horns have shot the basketball well this year. Their losses coming to Duke, Arizona State, Virginia, and UConn, so they have been tested. Hubbard off the mark. Tip up by a Chore is no good. Horns the other way. Now it's Pope baseline. Little contact with the hip and a 2-point game 5 minutes in.
Oh, we said it. We have one of the best guards in the country, and Josh Hubbard just coming off of a ball screen. If you're not there, he has the green light to shoot it, and he's got the ability to make a lot of them. On the other end, Tremont Mark, we're going to talk a lot about his mid-range ability. Don't be shy. Mid-range is still there. Right? I mean,
easily.
I'm not saying anything that's trying to make a statement, but the hardest job was the 4th guy on that list. That's Chris Jans. And I think what it says to you is that he's able to coach the team that he can assemble. Yes, having the junkyard dogs has really helped him. They were the toughest team. They were a team that nobody wanted to play. They're a little different this year, but he's had success with different teams. He's done it at New Mexico State.
Heidi for 3, no. Davis Fleming, the talented freshman. Remember the SC 100. Our guy Paul Biancardi sent me a text a few moments ago. Both of these teams recruiting at a high level. Catch and shoot off the right side. And Swain climbs a ladder.
Question is, it'll be interesting to see if recruiting really matters. If it's not just free agency. Because that seems to be where a lot of the money is going, is towards free agency, portal.
You and I talked about it earlier. Vokatitis draws the foul. He is elite in that department to begin this campaign. The top 10 recruits, right? You take a look at the top 100. The top 10, a lot of times, you know that they're going to make an impact right away. But the portal guys are going to make the larger impact, right?
If you just look at sample size, you know what they can do at this level. and you can build out a roster with guys that have played at this level already, you understand what their value, whatever that is, right? You understand what their value is to your program. It's hard with freshmen. And you also don't know, are you going to have them for more than a year? So you develop somebody, and then do they go? Can you keep them? Retention becomes a big issue. We talked to the guys today about that. What was it like being re-recruited here at Texas?
Right.
Jordan Pope. What was it like being re-recruited, and how big of an impact was Sean Miller on that? And obviously, it was a huge impact on it. You want to stay, you want to finish your career at a high note, you have to have the confidence in a coach to be able to win with whatever you've got.
1 point game, Boca Titus 1 of 2 at the strike. Bulldogs have it. Trying to work it inside out. There's Hubbard, stop and pop. Wilcher for the Horns the other way. Good look, Boca Titus inside on the alley-oop. But Boca Titus in person is pretty agile. Like, he can do a number of things.
He's really good. And last year I saw him play at FAU a few times, and he developed throughout the course of last year to the point where FAU probably figured out they couldn't keep him. And here he is, playing at a really high level in the SEC for Sean Miller.
Yeah, freshman of the year in the American. Bit of space for Epps, too strong. And the rebound cleaned up nicely by Achor.
I don't know if I'll ever get used to seeing 99 on a basketball jersey.
It's a big number. That's a lot of work for the officials, too. When you go over the scores tab, we have to signal in the foul was on 99. A lot of hand gestures.
It's better than 00, though. That just doesn't make sense.
Shot clock under 10. Tremont Martin, Arkansas transfer. Step back. And Horns get it back off the carry.
Packed-in defense.
Boca Titus triple team and rejected. Davis Fleming stuck in there. Outside to Kendall Weaver, who just checked in. Shot clock at 5. Baseline jumper for who else? Mark.
That's just tough. I mean, Mississippi State did everything almost right. But with everything so packed in, if the ball gets tapped out, there's no one there but Texas offensive players to get the rebound. I like the idea, but you've got to be able to secure rebounds if you pack it in the defense.
Here's McGee. Banked it in.
That looked so bad that I said nope. And he banked it in.
He is shooting 44% from downtown this year. I don't think he tried to do it that way, but it counts nonetheless. His last 8, right at his season average. Kendall Weaver off glass as well. We're tied at 16.
I think if you bank in a long 3, you lose a percentage point.
That something needs to happen on the old stat sheet. Epps the other way with the layup. Yeah, because the point should count.
Just should get a percentage point for it. Just a second.
Tracked down by Swain. He comes up short. Second try. He'll shoot too. It's one of the theories I have in baseball too. If you're a pitcher and you commit an error where you give up a run, well, that should count as an earned run because it's against you.
Because you did it.
Right.
Yeah. I'm with you on that.
Okay. I didn't know that we saw eye to eye on things like that.
We just make sense. I also think Dalen Swain coming over with coach is one of those things that is a bigger thing than you realize. Understanding the language of just how someone operates, to have that in your locker room when you come to a place like Texas that has the expectations that match the level of the expectations of the coach you're bringing in, I think that's key. And Dalen Swain's in a perfect position to have a big impact on this team this year, as he already has.
We spoke with Sean Miller for probably 20 minutes today. You've known him for a long period of time, going back to his days in Big East, the first go-around, and he looks good, right? And I think he has a refreshed approach now in the SEC. And he knows what he's up against, but I think he's also, he likes the hand he's been dealt this year, especially with the starting 5. More on that coming, but he has the right mindset, I feel like, after we spoke to him.
Yeah, I think the way to say it is he's got a good glow about him, right? They say that about pregnant women. He's got the pregnant glow, right? He has that, and I think it's new hope. I think it's a resurgence in his job as a head coach. I think going to Xavier was great for him, but this is the right opportunity you couldn't pass up. And people here at Texas, you should be excited about what you've got in store.
8 minutes in, tied at 18. Ready to make another run as what he did in previous stops you see there.
I'm not looking at coaches anymore and looking even at the past. I'm looking at the way they build a team, the way they develop, yes. But can you deal with roster creation of the game today? And I think Sean Miller can. I think he will do very well as Jordan Pope gets one to go. That's a good sign. I think he's going to do very well with the year-to-year roster creation. I think retention as they get better will get easier and easier. Why? Resources. But I think I have high hopes for Texas here under Sean Miller.
Pope's triple, that's his first bucket. Jump stop McGee. And controlled by the Horns the other way. Here comes Wilcher, St. John's transfer. No, Pope is a different player this year too. You know, his workout regimen, ability to eat the right thing is vastly improved according to those close to the program. We talked to him today, and boy, you ask him a question, he has different layers he likes to address, and he doesn't miss a beat in that department. You have to think that's going to pay dividends deeper into the season. His experience, and maybe starting to find his voice a little bit more with this roster too.
I also think a love for the place. I don't think we say that enough. Like, does a guy love this place? With new people coming in, what do you have to share about how special this place is? I think the obvious is the obvious, right? Moody's the obvious. You look at this place, this is a beautiful venue. There's excitement about the program. You've got a high-level head coach that comes in. But what is it about this university? What is it about Austin? Connect people with the community. That's how things grow. I think Jordan Pope's going to play a key role in that. It might be one of those ancillary things, but I think it does matter.
Question, three-point advantage. Last meeting went to OT in Starkville at the end of the last regular season. Hubbard with a pass, and Hubbard a chance for three. Boy, the toughness and the grit at the rack there.
You see how he's able to come off that screen and just freeze the defense for a second. And the guy you're looking to freeze is the big. Make him cover. Little freeze, and the big gets lost for a split second, and that's all it needs. That's all Josh Hubbard needs to be able to get to the rim and finish.
I mean, he is built like a running back or a linebacker, right? He can absorb that kind of contact.
He came, the worst thing he did was come talk to us. He stared at his shoulders and felt humble.
Very much so. He loves this program, too. His parents are in the building tonight, taking in the action. Jason and Betty Hubbard. There's a lot of pride about him and a great relationship between Josh Hubbard and Chris Jantz. And, I mean, he told us today that just, you know, the face of the program, but a better human being than basketball player. And the turnover forced by Jones.
I mean, I'll be honest and say Chris Jantz said if I had a daughter, I'd ask him to marry her. I mean, he's that type of guy.
Look at what he's done so far. I'm a father with two girls, two daughters. I can't think of a singular person on the planet ever that I would say that about.
Quite the statement then.
Thought so. Another chance for three. This time it's Jaden Epps. He started his career at Illinois, then at Georgetown. He has progressed nicely, including here.
Well, the Texas defense is struggling playing ball screens flat. They're just coming off that, turning the corner, which means Mississippi State is setting good screens. So if you set a good screen against a flat defender, you can just turn the corner and put the big defender in a bad situation. If the big defender doesn't flow to the basketball, you turn the corner and get all the way to the rim.
John, it's a second foul on Pope. He'll get a breather. He's trying to explain himself over there on the UT bench. And off the miss, 2-point advantage for the Bulldogs. They've made 5 of their last 7 against Sean Miller's team.
I mean, ball screen coverage often determines the winner or the loss. And it's not the initial ball screen coverage. It's often how you adjust.
You like the zone on defense here?
I do. It's very disruptive, and they've really packed it in. The key, again, is going to be rebounding.
Corner for Swain. He thought about it. The shot clock down to 10. Fast-paced game. High-scoring contest thus far in Austin. Mark. Mid-range, no. And the rebound pops over to Ballard. Bulldogs with early season losses to New Mexico, San Francisco. In overtime against SMU. And also K-State. And a turnover. Head back the other way. Well, we'll cap off our full slate of conference matchups coming up next right here on SEC Network. How about defending national champion Florida? Heads over to Como to tangle with the Mizzou Tigers. That's later tonight, 8:30 Eastern. Now, the Gators, a different team this year, and the schedule has been extremely difficult. Built on the front court and the back court with Landon Lee. Still trying to learn on the fly.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the biggest key is can the guards figure out how to complement the size they have down low? If not, they'll never really reach their potential. I think Lee's been very good, but they've got to be good together between Boogie Flan and Xavier Lee. They've got to figure out how to maximize one another and then bring out the best in the group.
Well, the dunk by Matsuran. Now a timeout called by Texas. And the Bulldogs lead at 4 on the strength of a 7-0 run the last 90 seconds.
Well, it's just been a lot of plays at the rim, which is just let me turn the corner. No one's going to really stop the ball. Just turn the corner, draw two, dump down. It's just easy basketball.
So it's different in Gainesville this year. It's also vastly different in Starkville with this team because we know about Josh Hubbard, but in years past, Keyshawn Murphy, Cameron Matthews, not the case in 2026.
And it wasn't like dominant size bigs. It's not that they always had 7-footers. They just had 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" dogs, junkyard dogs who would just go out, punch you in the teeth, take a few shots themselves, and smile. That's the type of dudes they were. This is a much different group where you're going to ask a lot more of Epps. You need Epps to be good so Hubbard doesn't get a double team and a bad look. You need everybody around to provide enough balance to make the game easy for the best on the floor. That's Josh Hubbard.
You know, Cam Matthews told me something last year that you've never said to me. He said, I like to go get the ball out of the mud.
Oh, yeah.
I want to get it out of the mud. That's what he did. That's what he represented.
Yeah, he did.
With this team.
A little more white collar in my old age. What do you want me to do?
Mark for 3. Really hasn't been his specialty this season. And let's see. It'll be Bulldog basketball, according to Pat Adams, on that baseline. We'll go get it out of the mud. I mean, that, you know.
Yeah, look. I mean, I didn't need analogies. I wanted to get the ball back, too, just as much as anybody else, because I loved offense.
Well, you wanted to shoot.
Yes, exactly.
Nothing wrong with that.
I wanted to shoot and wanted to play, so I'll play defense.
Off the double team, Epps harassed. Boy, some contact and an offensive foul. Vokatitis hit the deck, and Epps picks up the personal. He can't believe it.
Is this a chance to go stop the game and look at this?
I mean, there were elbows and knees flying in 5 different directions.
There's probably 15 fouls before that would actually occurred. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to go look at it.
There's an elbow.
I see all sorts of cylinder violations in there.
Boy, that was right in the kitchen of about 3 players. Well, that currently constitutes
the call on the floor stands. It'll be a common foul on black number 10.
Pat Adams.
I could have saved us 5 minutes.
Was it really 5 minutes?
I don't know. I exaggerate everything.
What's the start of a new year? I thought one of the resolutions was maybe not exaggerating as much.
No, it's exaggerate more.
Oh, okay. Welcome to 2026.
That was part of it, right? You said Coach Jans, here was his pregame. Take the first pass away. They've gotten 2 steals and then another deflection, just taking the first pass away.
Jordan Pope, step back 3, in and out. Heidi had it for a moment, and now ripped away by McGee. Bulldogs the other way quickly. Chris Jans pregame talked to his team about staying tougher, staying together longer to win a league game on the road. Matsurai outside to Jones. 8 minutes remaining in the half. Entertaining start in Austin. Jones the floater, and he gets it to drop.
Even on that possession, Tremont Mark just went chest to chest with the guy setting the screen. You've got to work around it harder. I mean, that's been the Achilles heel for Texas so far defensively, is just not getting around ball screen situations.
Bulldogs have their largest lead at 6 in the midst of a 9-0 run now.
If you're Sean Miller, this is something you've got to fix, right? The tight curl here, Tremont Mark just hugging up on big old Quincy Ballard and just giving Jones an easy look. 6-point lead for Mississippi State.
The only thing we're missing is a corner 3 from him right now. He should have gone over the corner, shot the 3, made the 3, and everybody would have lost their mind.
There's zero mobility in that leather outfit he's wearing right now. Like, go ask him to do a deep squat right now. He's just going to say, nope.
Yeah, I can't blame him.
He looks great.
Fantastic player. How much fun was he to watch? And also, he's one of those guys, he's going to defend you, he's going to pick you up, and he's going to let you know about it.
I was going to say, he's going to tell you about it.
Yeah. Couple of free throws.
He backed up all of it with effort. And I think there's a lot of guys out there that might be great players that'll never find a way on an NBA roster. P.J. Tucker figured it out.
Josh Hubbard with 10 points, second leading scorer in the SEC. Looking for 13, not this time. Fell down, wanted the foul, grabs his left calf. Appears to be okay, and here's Weaver.
It was close because Jordan Pope was on him.
Swain. 27-25. Matsuraz's got it. He'll be picked up by Traore. And a little heat check is all net for Epps. Well, Epps can give you a spark, can't he?
Well, if you can find balance with Epps and Hubbard and McGee shooting the three, then they're definitely more guard dominated. But that's a trio that can beat you.
That was a good graphic by you, by the way. I didn't realize that those numbers were what they are so far. Vokatitis was blocked.
You're acting like I built that graphic.
Well, I mean, I feel like you were the brains behind
I just say things at shoot-around and hope someone's listening.
Sometimes they are. And a foul with Hubbard penetrating. He's going to shoot 2. So Epps has 11. Hubbard has 10. And Epps was a guy that Sean Miller talked about with us today. I asked Sean, what do you do with Hubbard tonight? And he goes, it's not just him.
Yeah.
It's Epps. And we saw him a bunch when he was at Georgetown, when I was at Xavier.
You got to remember, these guys come in with a ton of potential. Well, what happens? I don't know. The world happens. It doesn't come easy. Injuries happen. You know, your team's not as good as you thought they were going to be. You kind of disappear, but the talent's still there. It's a matter of getting comfortable in a situation. I think he's in a great situation here at Mississippi State where so much of the attention is going to flow the way of Josh Hubbard. You're going to get good looks. You're not going to get the best defender. Epps needs to be good off the bounce. You need to be able to knock down enough open shots to keep people honest.
We talked to Josh today, Josh Hubbard. I said, have you talked to your guys and the new players about what it's like to play for Coach Jans? And he goes, of course. And he goes, it's going to take some time.
Yeah.
But we're at a better spot now than what we were at the start of the season. And that comes at the perfect time at the beginning of league play.
I think it helps. Chris Jans understands what he is, and he's consistent. That helps other people adjust to him.
Weaver was off the mark. Check that, Wilcher. And in traffic, McGee forces it up and in. The Bulldogs now have their largest lead at 9.
And the made baskets keep Texas from getting out in transition, which is something Sean Miller talked to us about, saying, look, we're really good in transition. You need stops. You need rebounds to get out.
And John, they've switched between man and zone these last 10 possessions or so, and that seems to be keeping Texas on its heels. There's Swain. That's a 3.
It's big, and that was good on Tremont Mark. Tremont Mark got to the middle of that zone, a playmaker, but someone you always also have to come up and take the shot away. Why? He's great in the mid-range. So you come up, take that away. Someone's going to be open. Tremont Mark found him.
Stops a 7-0 run by MSU. Swain's got 14 to lead all scorers.
It's just they continue to just ball screen. Keep going with the ball screen. They're getting where they want.
And McGee certainly did that time. Weaver skies for the rebound. Now Weaver, one of the holdovers from last year's team under former head coach Rodney Terry, along with Jordan Pope, Tremont Mark. And it's a new-look Texas team with Trey Johnson off to the NBA. Johnson was a big factor in the overtime win in Starkville in the last meeting last March. Vokatitis was fouled while shooting.
If you're going to be able to identify defense, you should do it quickly. If you get that defense identified, know the zone's there. Tremont Mark's your guy. Playmaker in the middle of the zone changes the way you defend. And frankly, if you can get Tremont Mark there, foul line area, elbow area, they're not going to play zone for much longer.
I've got a deep question for you.
Oh,
very deep, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Is the mid-range jump shot on some level, in some capacity, for a player like Tremont Mark, who really specializes in that department, is it making a comeback?
It absolutely is, and in a way by nature, because the NBA went to metrics, and the NBA said layups and threes. So what do you defend against? Take away layups, take away threes. So you got to be able to guard the ball to close out, force a bad angle drive, don't overhelp, get the rebound, run out. Well, what's there if you take away layups and threes? Mid-range. It just breaks down your defensive principles. You can't help to the mid-range, so you're going to get one-on-one ISO looks. I think if you have somebody that's good in one-on-one basketball, can get all the way to the basket, make the right play, make it open three, but also pull up from 10, 15 feet, look out.
Epps, look out. Too strong. Weaver, another strong rebound in traffic. Horns the other way. Swain outside, that's a 3. Wilcher connects, silky smooth. And just like that, a one-possession affair.
Sometimes you got to create your own rhythm, right? And that's what Texas has been able to do with a couple of stops. You get a stop and a run out. You start to create.
At LSU on Thursday. What a great play that was in the upset win.
Look at you double dipping on the trip.
Hey,
I thought you were here for me.
no. That's in a couple of weeks. That is the case, but not this.
You've told me 5 times you have a game tomorrow, and I've asked you about 6 times whether you're taking the first flight out tomorrow.
And I'm not. It's going to be the last one out tomorrow night. After the Mississippi State timeout, shot clock down to 7. McGee's thinking about it. Skip pass to Hubbard. Great find, and that's from deep. Another triple, and Hubbard with 15.
That's the one guy you can't lose. It was a difficult pass by McGee, but Hubbard was wide open. You just can't lose sight of where he is.
And McGee like a quarterback there, threading the needle across the court. Nothing easy about that sequence. Lead back to 5. Fun offensive pace in this game so far for both sides.
It has. Texas hasn't really established a rhythm yet. I think a couple stops is going to shift the way this game feels. Mississippi State's been able to operate, and on the other side, they've been able to dictate what they want to do by changing their defense. So more transition plays. Texas starts to find this game, but you've got to get stops, and you can't let Josh Hubbard roll. I think they might be better off in March than they will be throughout the conference season, but you got to build through the conference season. The other team, I still think the talent is there for Kentucky if they could survive an SEC season. And at that point, you get to the NCAA tournament, anything goes.
You saw the Alabama-Kentucky game today, right? Yeah. Sure. Aiden Holloway kind of went off against Kentucky. Alabama has won 4 straight now against Big Blue.
I just think it's too early for Vanderbilt to come out. Win a national title.
Running layup by Jabari McGee. And McGee's been in takeover mode. He's got 7. Horns the other way.
What I should have said, I don't want to put that kind of pressure on Vanderbilt. Help him out. Loosen him up.
Tyler Tanner, I think, has turned out to be one of the top guards in America.
Yeah.
I mean, he can shoot it this season. He never turns it over.
Can we just say Mark Byington?
Mark Byington,
he's just terrific.
Right?
Made for the future of this game.
Weaver in traffic.
Oh, thank God we fixed the block charge rule. I mean, 10 years ago, I'm rolling my eyes and watching the play go the other way, where every rule seemed to favor the defense. It's gotten so much better that we have allowed verticality to the point where if you don't jump, you're not getting that call. That's a charge 5 years ago, 3 years ago. That's absolutely a charge. And it would have been an emphatic call. And I would have rolled my eyes going, why do we have rules that strictly favor the defense?
You don't roll your eyes often.
No, rarely. I think I probably do more than I realize.
Kendall Weaver, nice finish, 6 points. We mentioned those 3 rebounds. She had to miss from the floor. And Weaver started his career at University of Texas, Arlington. Off the mark with a chance for 3. The lead at 3 for Mississippi State. Well, it has been a wild opening day, 2026, for conference action. Go back to Stegman Coliseum earlier this afternoon. Overtime and a crazy finish. And Georgia found a way to topple Auburn. Both teams reaching triple digits in a crazy bucket by Overton to force overtime with 0.7 seconds to go after a foul and a 3-point play. Like that game, to me, that's a microcosm of what's to come. And then
I think it's going to be a battle.
It is.
I think, but I'm going to argue this. If you can survive it, you're better off come March. There's a new lease on life if you make it to the NCAA tournament and you feel like you survived the war.
Well, you've given me the pregnancy glow already in the first half, surviving wars in our first 20.
He's got a little less glow down 3.
Oh, and Mark on the attack. The glow starts to dissipate when your team's trailing.
Well, giving up too many easy ones with the guards working these ball screens. I think they've done a better job switching and communicating a little bit more. Tremont Mark, better high hands, wide hands.
And a foul inside, a chance for 3, a chore. Well, it was a patient finish down low. You wondered if that was going to be a charge, and instead, chance for 3 for number 99.
This is another good thing, another block charge. There's a great back cut, right? You extend your defense to take passes away. Back cuts are there. Good read by Mark. And this one, not given room to land. That's what that would be. But they allowed the end one, which, again, I like. Put more points on the board.
Second foul on Tremont Mark. There goes Wilcher. Nasty crossover baseline. Whip it around, in and out of the midst of Traore.
You know who didn't sweat that crossover was Josh Hubbard.
He was there.
He never got off balance.
Made me nervous.
Yeah.
Timer under 10. And somehow, the borderline jam, Dalen Swain. Boy, he muscled that one up and down.
I think if you're Texas, you're starting to see how you could score, and you've begun to figure out how you can defend better. There have been more switches, better communication because of the switching from the guard position, and then a better fight to get over the screen. The game started off with 2 threes coming off of a ball screen where the defenders just weren't there. It then continued with Mississippi State turning the corner and doing whatever they wanted with the basketball. Texas has shifted their defense. They've made the adjustment, and they're starting to figure out how they can score.
You can certainly forecast Swain and what he could be by the time we get to March. 3 years at Xavier, comes over with his head coach, and that's going to look pretty electric, I think, by the time we get there to the madness.
Well, we have a great Tom Brady NFL Combine photo of him, too, just showing, like, his development physically.
Hubbard fouled on the 3, and Weaver unable to give him space to come down cleanly, and that's going to be the second foul on Kendall Weaver. And 3 free throws coming for Hubbard. Sean Miller can't believe it.
Coaches would always say, contest the level of the ball. It's really hard to do with a guy like Hubbard that can just put it on the floor and just keep you off balance. So you're going to sit back, and you got to contest up. You can't contest in.
Question I have for you, and I've asked you a handful of questions already. How many times do you see the attempted rejection on the 3 actually blocked? Like, it never happens.
Never. Rarely.
It never happens.
Now, in that case, you can't be a step behind the play. Or again, going back, Sean Miller talked about fouls. Well, you often foul when you're a step behind the play. You're chasing the play. It's too long of a closeout. You need to be one step away where you're into the body of the shooter, where he's got to turn, rip through, get in that triple threat position. You're taking everything away by being there on the catch. But when you're a second late, green light Josh Hubbard's going to let it fly.
I think Josh Hubbard woke up this morning at the hotel room with the green light, right? He's got it universally.
Yeah. I mean, why not? He's earned it. I mean, he's at the top of the record books for pretty much every category at Mississippi State.
Corner 3, no. A chore. Some contact there. And did 99 go over the back to retrieve it? Appears that way. And the Horns now in the double bonus. Under a minute to go in the half.
You mentioned it's kind of like Wade Taylor at Texas A&M. Here's a guy who's a program guy. They hung his jersey in the rafters.
Hubbard's like that.
Well, he's that guy right now, where he's a program guy. He stays here for 4 years. He does what he can do. He's going to be at the top of the record books in pretty much every category. That's the guy. He's the staple of this program right now. It's rare. He is as rare as it gets with basketball at the collegiate level being professionalized.
1 of 2 for Vocatitis. And he'll step off the floor. End of this first half. 1 possession game, high scoring game. You know, Texas has shot the basketball well this year. Mississippi State with Epps and Hubbard in the backcourt had their fair share of scoring as well. That has happened again tonight. Hubbard with 18, Epps with 11. Who wants it this go around? It's Epps. And a chore finds a way to tap it back up and through. 46-41. 12-second differential between game and shot clock. Wild day in the SEC. That continues tonight in Austin. Euro for Swain.
All right, so Texas is trying to find it, and I think they found it on the offensive end, but you've got to be able to keep Mississippi State from having 50 in the first half.
Swain with 18. Hubbard with 18. Shot clock is off. Hubbard picked up by Wilcher. Josh Hubbard maintains his balance, and Wilcher smacked him on the wrist. That's a foul, and that's 2 shots at the line. Second foul on Simeon Wilcher, the St. John's transfer.
I think he got the ball at first. That's just tough. I mean, it's good defense. Bailed out. I always love when it's like, is that a foul? Yeah, they called a foul. Whether you like it or not.
Hubbard 8 of 9 at the stripe in this first half. So he's hit a couple of threes, 4. Check that, 3 of 7. Now 8 free throws to complement the outside shot.
I think what's so hard, we kind of joked, spoke lightly about the green light. The green light makes you really difficult to defend because at any moment he can pull a shot and he makes a high percentage of it.
3.1 seconds to go. The lead back to 5. 9th contest this year with Hubbard achieving 20 or more. Swain's got to go. And a rare miss. The lead at 5, 20 minutes in here in Austin. And Josh Hubbard with 20. Alan Swain with 18. Fun start.
Knocking him down, and then he's making the good reads based on the matchup he's got and attacking at the rim.
John, I didn't realize he had 8 boards in those first 20 minutes. You see Hubbard and Epps and what they've done, and Texas, bit of a heater at the end of the half, but still trailing by 5. Ironically, Horns led by 5 the last meeting against these two in that overtime win in Starkville last March. Different year, different teams. Final 20 underway. Here's Sean Jones Jr. Bounce pass down low to Epps. Now Hubbard, 6 on the timer. Picked up by Vocatitis. Hubbard contested 3. And Jones, ball was still in his hands. That is a shot clock violation.
Everybody in this building should do what I'm doing right now. I'm clapping. They switched how they're changing the ball screens. Vocatitis is up higher with the ball. He's sticking with the basketball more until the guard fights and gets over. They got a shot clock violation by a simple adjustment that very likely, if they continue, could win them the game.
Horns get it back. Vocatitis goes to work. Left-handed delivery. Well, that's one way to do it.
Man, those two just big animals down there battling for position.
Oh, the block by Tremont Martin. He'll stare down Hubbard after the rejection. It'll stay on this end.
That was a really big battle. Quincy Ballard down there fighting with Vocatitis, but it's the offensive move. That was it. Sean Miller said it. Be quick, be decisive. Something that Bill Walton always used to say, be quick, be decisive, be a basketball player. Vocatitis did that. Nice finish.
Can I tell America what you told me at halftime in regards to ball screens for Texas?
Yeah, I already forget what I said.
Well, it wasn't pretty in the first half, but you've already seen an adjustment. Maybe until that time, Epps off the mark, and Swain Karam's in for the rebound. You didn't like the effort, though, on that side.
No, I didn't. I thought the effort in terms of fighting over the screens was weak at best. Almost waiting for someone else to do your job. You want to play at the professional level, you better darn sure learn how to defend the ball screen, and it starts with effort.
Tremont Mark, a center fielder that time, or a safety, playing over DKR here in the 40 acres.
This, the double coming to Vocatitis, the ultimate show of respect.
Well, that turn that he had, the pivot down low on Ballard was impressive. First time we've seen it. Now attacking, and he was fouled. Hammered by 15 in black.
That's just so good because his bigs has started to figure out, right? Every big wants to be a guard. Every guard wishes he was 7 feet tall. Bigs want to be able to put the ball on the floor. And the way the game's played today, you're going to have opportunities. Ball screens, handoff situations. That's a handoff situation where Ballard is getting ready to help defend with a hedge. And then the right read is made by Vocatitis, and he just turns the corner and gets to the rim and gets fouled.
You can see his speed and agility. You saw him last year at FAU, American Conference Freshman of the Year, and you see that ability in moments this season. And like what we talked about with Swain, you imagine what this roster and the starting 5 will look like come March. And chances are it's going to be vastly improved and more consistent.
Well, I think that helps. What helps is the openness, as we discussed early on in the game, the openness of the SEC. It allows for teams to develop and emerge, as opposed to last year where it's like, you either kill or be killed. I mean, that was just how it was going to be from start to finish.
Yeah, 14 teams from the conference made the field of 68. First time that's ever happened in college basketball history. 2 minutes in. We got a 1-point game in Austin. And a bump, there was contact, and Heidi on Matsura trying to attack the baseline.
You know, Matsura's a guy that Chris Jan's talked about. He's like, he's got it, kind of old school type game. He's just got to find his spots. And I think there's an adjustment that you make throughout the course of the season based on the best players on the floor. Well, the best players on the floor are guards. So you have to be patient in terms of finding your game within the team.
There's no patience in collegiate athletics. Doesn't happen anymore.
It's called transfer portal.
Epps. Exactly what it's called. 5 on the timer for Hubbard. Hubbard, a giant step in traffic, no. And the putback by Davis Fleming. Back on the court with the 3 fouls. And he was hammered on the way up.
That's 3 on Pope.
Correct.
I just wonder sometimes, I don't really know the answer to this. If I'm Pope, I just give up the layup. I'm beat. I'm too important. I'm going to give the layup because now I think he comes out.
Davis Fleming, not a great free throw shooter now, 4 of 11. So maybe that's the reason you decide to foul him there.
I'm too important, right? Like, if I'm Jordan Pope, not me, you can live without me. But I'm too important. Yeah, it's a good foul by putting a poor free throw shooter on the line, but it takes you out of the game.
Oh, and they tipped it in. Heidi tipped it in for the Bulldogs. There was some confusion on the rebound, and it just caromed up and over the rim.
That was the universe trying to prove my point.
Yes, it was. How about that? Lead back to 3. I don't know that I've seen that in a long time. And Vocatitis, well, that's going to be the 4th on Davis Fleming. Watch this.
Who gets credit for it?
This is SportsCenter, not top 10, by the way.
I mean, how does that even happen? That's a grab the ball movement. I always get on coaches when you hear them say, grab the ball. I say, what do you think I'm trying to do? But that's an honest, like, yeah, grab the ball, dog.
Well, you know what? They want Heidi to be more aggressive offensively. That time it just kind of
grab the ball.
Ricocheted.
Pat a stat.
Horns have it, back to work. And they will credit those points. Jamari and Davis Fleming will credit those to Dalen Swain, now with 20.
Yeah, I like that because Vocatitis has been utilized around the perimeter, which is going to open up that triple drive opportunity.
How does Hubbard get open like that? He's off the mark from deep. Sean Jones Jr. a rebound and a fresh 20.
Look at you, quick hands.
Do what I can.
I didn't move. Again, everything's lifted because Vocatitis is high. So they're playing through him as a ball mover and passer, screener, and then utilizing the roll and duck in. So that if you lift the defense, guys like Dalen Swain with the matchup advantage, go. Weaver might be the same situation.
Great game brewing here in Austin. Epps will feed it down low and a great dish. And the first points for Brandon Walker. Epps with the vision that time. The lead push back to 3. By the way, that's the first time I think I've touched a basketball in real action. Calling games for ESPN ever. I don't think it's ever happened before.
Real action, not like the shooting performance you put on before shooter.
I made one half-court shot. It took me 7 tries, but I made one.
The 7 is still debatable, but one of us called that we would make at least one of 3.
You were 1 of 2, to your credit. And you called the splash down that you made there. It was nice.
It's always funny how numbers change. The more I get removed from my playing days, the more people think I never missed. It's the greatest thing to be a total has-been because you end up being way better than you ever really were. Everybody
that's
fights
sensational.
Everybody fights irrelevance. It's like, do you understand the more irrelevant you get, the better you actually were?
Because nobody remembers.
Nobody remembers.
Nobody can tell you otherwise. 3.5 minutes into the second half. League opener for both Mississippi State and Texas. 10th meeting all time. Wilcher, that was smooth.
All set up by a good screen by Vocatitis. That's what Mississippi State's been brewing on.
Good crowd on hand here at Moody, even with the students not back on campus yet. They've been loud when called upon tonight. And a foul 25 feet from the rack. It'll be called on Swain.
Well, look, you got to give the crowd reason to cheer. You know, you warmed them up. They sell booze here. They got a nice setup here with plenty of clubs to come early, maybe wait until tip. So you've got to give them reason. Wilcher, you might have to be that guy. Jordan Pope's on the bench with 3. Yes.
The comeback against Georgia the other night.
I do love myself some college football, and I do think there's more parity than ever before.
Of course there is.
Which makes it good. Now, we still had a couple of thumpers in that first round of the college football playoff, but games have gotten good. And how about Indiana? What a story. Well, you know the story. My wife cheered there until 2012, and she would tell me, like, no one was there. You couldn't beg friends and family to come to the game.
Indiana's a football school now.
Oh.
Vokatitis down low and was hammered. Marshall checked out Walker. Able to come down on top of him that time. And free throws coming.
I feel like Texas is starting to figure out where they're better. Starting to play with Vokatitis more, and they're utilizing him not just on the block, but around the perimeter, then hard dives, and just winning that position battle, making the bigs defend differently for Mississippi State, lifting the defense a little bit. Something Mississippi State said they wanted to do. You wanted to lift the defense, but it does open up back cuts and drives.
Two of the great SIDs in the SEC.
Yes.
Matt Dunaway for Mississippi State, Scott McConnell
Sorry, everybody
for
else.
Texas. Yeah, I mean, there's great ones up and
No
down
offense.
the board, but Dunaway walked over the starting five for both teams to us about 30 minutes before tip. Scott McConnell, I mean, he took us on the grand tour around Austin today. It was fantastic. But I bring that up because we got a tie game. And you said when you saw the starting five for the Horns,
Yes.
that is a NCAA tournament starting five in your mind.
To me, unquestionably, that's an NCAA tournament starting five. Jordan Pope has to be really good, basketball in his hands, but you look at those pieces, they're high level, they're tough. There's a lot of tough matchups, and as Vokatitis gets more and more comfortable with how important he is, I just think it's a high-level basketball team that will find itself throughout this open SEC. Now, if the SEC was like last year and you're this team,
different.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Right? Just survive and play the next game. But I do think there are different matchups in the SEC, some that will expose issues, others that will magnify your strengths. If you get through the games, you should win. Start to figure out what adjustments you need to make as a team. This group, to me, with the starting five that they came out with, that is unquestionably an NCAA tournament team. Weaver could be really good coming off the bench, just be a high-energy guy, and find out who your 7th and 8th guy is going to be. That's an NCAA tournament group.
2 free throws for Epps. He's got 13 and the lead back to 2.
By the way, was Texas football a playoff team by the end of the season?
Yeah, they certainly appeared
Right?
to be one. And then you saw what they did against Michigan in the bowl game, 2-touchdown win. And Arch, I think, clearly is going to be one of the Heisman frontrunners. But he's got, like, the resume now to back up that notion, right?
Yes, I thought coming into the season, just the expectations so high. But they look good.
Swain off the mark. And a foul after the rebound. Let's see who it goes against. Well, you had Walker and Vokatitis hit the deck hard.
We're already seeing swizzle sticks for a review, which tells me they're going to get Vokatitis. Oh, that's a hook.
Classic hook and hold.
I mean, that was like a double hook and hold.
Second personal on Vokatitis in the last 60 seconds.
I mean, I'm with Sean Miller on that, saying that looked obvious as anything.
Now Chris Jans just back to
The
work,
call
back
on
to
the floor is
business.
a common foul on white number 8. The play is under review.
Our second review here in Austin tonight.
I thought it was a pretty clear early hook and hold here. Walker just gets locked up. I mean,
that is a full forearm around the waist.
I don't really know how that first part gets missed. And then you call the foul on the eventual outcome. Like, that is plain as day. And the problem is Vokatitis has his left arm wrapped around a little too.
Yeah, you see it there at the end as they're both.
Communicate that. I've always wanted to use that word, by the way. I've
solid use.
Heard other better analysts do it.
It'll be Texas basketball after the exchange there, according to Pat Adams. And, I mean, they both were tangled up, like you said, Christmas lights.
And Vokatitis did have an arm around the defender, but who initiated it doesn't matter. I think it's a great play by Walker. Why not? Get physical. Get Vokatitis to foul and wear him down with physicality. Bigs who get tired often foul. Why? Because they get a step behind the play.
Jordan Pope back on the floor with the 3 personals. Vokatitis against his old buddy Brandon Walker. Pope comes up short, and then Vokatitis over the back.
Yeah, that's just silly. Vokatitis, you've got to know better.
So that's 3 fouls on number 8 for the Horns. Vokatitis in the span of about 90 seconds, John.
Yeah, that's one you've got to eliminate. You're too important to make poor decisions. I remember a coach saying that to me, and I was like, do I take that as a compliment? But it's true. You are. No, it's a responsibility, and you have to understand that as much as anything else you do on the floor.
Excuse me, pass ends up in the hands of Epps. Walker on the pick and roll. Epps connects, and the lead back to 5.
See, Epps qualifies as a streaky guy, and he's one of the few players that kind of creates his own streaks.
He's got 16 tonight. Last Texas lead in this game came at 21-20, halfway through our first half. And confusion on the spin and the dribble, and a turnover for the Horns. Todd Austin with a call baseline, and Texas asking to reconsider.
Yeah, that's interesting because Walker dove after that, which tells you one thing. He thought it was out on him.
I mean, Texas, in theory, could challenge the call. That's what the challenge was put into play for, right? To be able to do it, the officials can't go back on their own and take a look at what's happening when the ball goes out of bounds. All you have to have is the timeout. Quick check over the sidelines. They thought better of it. 8 turnovers now for the Longhorns.
See, better defense.
Walker inside the jump hook.
I would live with that before I allow Hubbard to come off that ball screen unattested.
Well, Texas whittled that lead down to 1 several times, and then here comes the Bulldogs back, and now Swain, first points of the second half.
I don't think there's a matchup on the floor he doesn't like.
It's actually his second bucket at 18 at halftime, now with 22. And Traore with the rebound. Chance to make it a 1-possession game again. Another crossover. And on the attack, draws the contact.
There's something that some players get that you can't describe. The only way I'll say it is they find a little wiggle in their game. Dalen Swain has kind of gotten to that point where he's got that wiggle, where he's having fun with it. The first play was just a blow-by and finish. The second one was actually setting him up, selling a dream to the left, going right, and earning one from the free throw line.
Second foul on Walker. Boy, you love it when they sell the dream, right?
I do.
That's good stuff.
Especially when it's smooth.
Swain is smooth. Now mass substitutions. Let's see. Tremont Mark checks in for Simeon Wilcher. And you see Swain's numbers, what he's been able to do before this evening, the transfer from Xavier.
It's why you develop your body, too. Going to the basket is not just getting there with speed and athleticism. It's being able to manage your body well enough to handle the contact and finish on balance. He's gotten a lot better at that.
1 of 2 at the line. Swain with 23. That's 4 shy of his career mark. Going back to his time at Xavier. Here's McGee, double team. Somehow got it back, turns it over. Now this MSU backcourt is what we've talked about with Hubbard, Epps, and Jabari McGee. I mean, these guys are Bulldogs. They will get after you. They'll get in the lunch pail a little bit.
They are, but they're just so different when you have Josh Hubbard on the bench. The defenders just know how to hunt the ball differently. Why? Because you don't have Hubbard to be concerned with.
Mark between the legs. Over to Pope. How about the rotation? Swain came out flat with a 3. Pope! And Jordan Pope, second bucket. He's got 5. Lead back to 2. Great day in the SEC. It started in Athens, Georgia. It concludes later tonight in Columbia, Missouri, with the defending national champions in town. And here in Austin, what a game. Stolen by Weaver. Ahead to Swain, waving, bobbing. And it's out of bounds. It'll stay with the Longhorns. Swain thought there was contact, pointing to the elbow.
I thought the whistle was blown before the ball even got out of bounds. I thought Pat Adams was going to call a foul on that. and saw the ball go out of bounds and just said, stays here. By the way, great defense by Jordan Pope on the ball, that possession.
Mark picked up by McGee with a size advantage. Back to the basket, little grown man basketball. Mark with a bounce. Tied at 59. Epps, the silencer, on the move.
You gotta capitalize on this time with Hubbard on the bench if you're Texas.
Jaden Epps with 18. Jalen Swain back to work. Rejected. Chor got there. Swain got it back. Here's Jordan Pope, the mid-range elbow. Tied again. Epps left open for a second. Nearly banked it home. Here come the Horns. Swain 1-on-2. Outside to Pope. Not this time. Oh, a chore. Came with a blow-by and the rejection out of bounds.
It's been good. It's just a back-and-forth game. This is what we loved about the first half. The stoppages can't just really develop the backcourt depth of Florida. Florida will be a tough out for a lot of teams because of the size they possess.
And they're going to be better 2 months from now than what they are now.
Absolutely.
With the talent and the front court like you talked about. Lee and Boogie Flan can figure it out. And they've started to at times in moments this season. Jordan Pope. And a box out. Vokatitis thought he was hammered. Josh Hubbard back on the floor after an extended break. McGee. Hubbard gets it back. Check out the quickness, the ups. Off the mark and the putback by Achor. Well, he's become a weapon lately. The block moments ago, the putback and the dunk there.
Do me a favor and explain some of the losses for Mississippi State and look at the team we see on the floor right now.
It's a different vibe, right?
Makes sense. Totally different vibe.
Yeah, New Mexico by 2, SMU in overtime, San Francisco by 3, and Kansas State. Give me a rematch with any of those 4.
Yes.
Pope left open. And a rebound claimed by Davis Fleming. Nearly picked up his 5th foul there. On the clear out, had a hand on the shoulder. Here's Hubbard. And a foul. Will head the other way. And if that's Davis Fleming, that's his 5th, and he's done. And it is. Well, the talented freshman from Canton, Mississippi, number 97 in the Sports Center Top 100. 3 starts in the last month, and the former Gatorade Player of the Year in Mississippi fouls out.
I don't know about you in terms of what you're seeing, but there was a lot of talk coming into this game like this isn't the same type of Mississippi State team we've seen in the past. They may not have some of the key front court players, but they are much tougher in person than they were in my scout. And I think this is just a team that is kind of leveled up to conference play in a different way. This isn't the team I scouted getting prepared for this game.
Yeah. Vokatitis back at the line. He's got 10 points. Bulk of those coming now in the second half. He's made his living at the line this season. That continues tonight. Now 7 of 11 at the stripe. I mean, he's going to get there. He's going to find a way to get to the line and make you pay.
They've done a good job of throwing multiple bodies his way, so they're maintaining physicality on Vokatitis.
We mentioned the losses by Mississippi State for Texas. They opened the season against Duke, Arizona State by 1. Virginia came in here and shot the lights out. And then UConn, a game in which they competed. It was an 8-point game. They had a chance to make it a 1-possession affair under 5 to go. Couldn't do it. Now we're tied at 63 here in Austin.
Well, you hate to say it this early in the season. It just feels like they've got to get this. You've got to figure out how to win this game.
McGee off the high ball screen. A chore for 3. He'll get it back. It cleans up his own miss. Short now 4 of 23 from downtown this season. Hubbard hasn't made a shot in the second half. Walker. A line drive, it's off the mark, and a foul. It goes on Swain. And he is out of his mind. He can't believe it. That's his second.
I mean, for all the battling going on both ways, you get a bad miss and you end up picking up this foul. Yeah, maybe. I guess you could call it. But I think what Sean Miller would say is then call it down here, too.
Both teams in the bonus rest of the way. Sean Miller would agree. By the way, the glow has faded a little bit more in the second half, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely faded a little bit. It's more of a perspiration at this point.
All right. I didn't know on the glow-o-meter where things stood, but I'm glad we agree. How about a Chore now with 8 points, some big blocks, and rebounds in this half?
I would say just active, energy-wise. Still can't get over the fact that he wears 99. It's going to bother me for a while.
How about the zone bothering Texas and its offense like what we saw at the end of the first half?
It's been disruptive, but I would keep looking to get Tremont Mark to the inside of that zone.
Weaver outside to Swain. Outside to Weaver. Corner three is good. Texas back in front. First time since it was 21-20. There's a steal. Swain on the move. And one.
This has really been Dalen Swain's day. He has done absolutely everything you could ask him to do. 25 points on the night. By far the toughest matchup, but defensively he's leveled up. Defensively, as a team, Texas has been much better in the second half, beginning with their ball screen coverage and, frankly, their effort.
Already his third double-double in his first year in Austin. He's tied his career high with 11 rebounds, and now 1 point away from tying his career high in points. Lead at 4. And it happened fast. Hubbard finds a way to score in traffic to spin.
Oh, man. Again, great defense. Everything was good. A better offensive player just made a shot.
His first points of this second half now with 22. This game has had a little bit of everything.
Battle down low. Look for a double.
Oh, go Tigers!
Double came late.
It's the understatement of the night. Here's Hubbard. Oh, and another response. Josh Hubbard.
Oh, I like this. This is fun. Beautiful place. 70 degrees outside, and we got offensive basketball.
Hubbard with 25. The lead down to 1. Approaching 7 to play. And from behind, it was Epps. Snuck in with the contact, but back and forth we go here at Moody.
Yeah, a lot of point counterpoint in this one. Texas, you start to feel as if they're going to take over this game. They get the ball inside, the double comes late, and you get posterized. Just put your head down and throw it inbounds, and then Josh Hubbard keeping his team in it. He's got in matchups with that physicality. And I think there's a responsibility that comes with the skill set that he's got. You're a 3-4 position type player. You're going to have a matchup that nobody has, matchup advantage, that nobody else on the floor has, and he is attacking. He's been the offense in so many ways. 26 points on the night. Great performance and keeping Texas in a game. I really feel like they got to get here at home.
Horns in the 1-1 rest of the way. Wilcher's got one more free throw, and Swain 26 and 11, just one off his career high.
His body looks good. but it pales in comparison to his strength and conditioning coach.
Andy Kettler. I think so.
Say?
We talked to Andy pregame. I need to get on his workout regimen. I need some help.
Yeah, I play a game every place I go. Pick out the strength and conditioning coach. Let's just say this was a lob.
Smart move to bring him over from Xavier. Open three, and it's Epps. And we're tied at 73.
They've had an answer for everything. And I think so much attention is going to come on Josh Hubbard. The last couple shots that he made that were tough ones, they're demoralizing, so it just brings your instinctual attention. And then Epps gets freed open on the corner for an easy three.
Outside to mark, he's left open. Lefty can't connect. Weaver lost it out of bounds. Well, Weaver's been active on the glass tonight, and that time just couldn't haul it in cleanly.
He's been both ends active on the glass.
There's your guy.
There he is.
Andy Kettler. I mean, he means business, right?
Man.
He means business.
If anybody doesn't know what traps are, look him up in the dictionary and you'll see his picture. Nice man, too.
Off the miss by Hubbard. Caught cleanly by Pope. Double team, no problem. Jordan Pope. Epps has had the answer more times than not with 21. Swain nearly a steal, and let's see who the foul's on.
What's that?
And it's going to go on Swain with the hip check.
I think they're saying he may have grabbed, kind of like a defensive back when you get beat. You just kind of lock arms, get the arm around. He may have done that.
Well, the foul's starting to mount up. Swain's got 3. Pope has had 3 for quite some time. Vokatitis with 3. Montserrat the strike. And it's back to a 1-point game approaching 6. I mean, how much fun has this been?
This has been really good. It's enjoyable. It's hard not to enjoy this place. It's just nice when the basketball's good.
Basketball has matched the juice and the atmosphere in the arena. The food that we consumed last night,
yeah,
even a little bit today.
Still not sure whether it was okay to eat bison. I feel like they're in danger.
Double check that.
Yeah.
Should we say that on air?
Someone not going to like it.
Baseline, Swain, and a chance for a new career high at the line. Boy, he has no off button tonight. I mean, it's been attack after attack.
I tell you, there's something about when you find it and you kind of have your way, there's a shift in the wiggle where you just look for opportunities with a smile on your face. Like, I know I got this. He's got that tonight.
Well, and we showed you the enhancement in the physique, and that's what's needed over the course of a career in a league like this.
Course of a season.
He's got one more. That will tie his career high at 27. And
I mean, he's just a different dude. And look, we saw earlier today, we're talking about strength and conditioning coach, and strength and conditioning coach sitting next to the team's trainer and said, look, there's the guy that is there to fix the broken, and there's the guy to make them unbreakable. And you're starting to see that. These bodies emerge. Look, these are professionals at this point. Let's just be real. And I think they're understanding the responsibility they carry to manage their bodies and put the right food in their systems.
Montserrat with the handoff to Hubbard. Boy, you give Hubbard an inch, the shot's going up.
Just
he wants
defense. Really much better defense.
Epps wants it too. He thought he may have been fouled. No whistle. There's Weaver again.
I don't know if I'd take Weaver out. I just think he's been so impactful. He's not looking for the basketball. He got a 3 to fall. He's just so energetic, and I think energy just lifts the entire building.
Bison are not endangered for the record. There's Mark.
Thank God.
Talked about eating the right things, and I don't know that you were doing that yesterday, but here we are.
Bison's lead.
With 5 to play, here's Epps. Big possession for the Bulldogs. And off the bounce is Quincy Ballard, and then tumbling in is a chore. Boy, that's a shock to the system when you come down that awkwardly.
Dude, who are you kidding? Like, I don't have to jump. If I fall over, that's going to be a shock to my system. Us mere mortals don't elevate 35 inches in the air and then land on our tail.
Well, you used to be able to do that, didn't you?
I don't even know how. I know.
It wasn't that long ago, even.
It's longer when you don't remember any of it.
Back to a one-point game. The bucket by Quincy Ballard. Time at Wichita State and FSU. Leading rebounder for MSU coming in.
They got to anticipate the double. Just missed an opportunity there with the double coming.
Tremont Mark loves the mid-range. Swain likes the three. Not this time.
Look who was there. That's all Weaver. That was all Weaver. Weaver kept that alive. Swain was the beneficiary of Weaver's effort. I'm telling you, there are maybe better players, but Weaver is keeping the ball alive. He's everywhere the basketball is.
9 points, 4 rebounds, all coming in critical moments. And here's Swain back at the stripe. And a chance to hit 30 for the first time in his extended career. 3 years at Xavier, first season in Austin.
And you don't need Cam Heide to be what he typically needs to be in this game with Swain doing what he's doing. You need energy around him.
I mean, Heide's attempted one shot. It was a three. That's it. He hasn't scored. The lead stuck at 2 after 1 of 2 for Swain at the line.
That's okay sometimes. It's the game these days.
There's Hubbard. Matsura. F's lost the handle. He'll get it back. Hubbard again, a little shake and bake. The floater. Pops out to Swain. 2-on-1. Pope. There's a lob. Dalen Swain. Horns by 4. And a timeout called by Josh Hubbard. .331 to go. League opener in Austin. Sensational.
So good for them, and it has allowed Swain to be the guy he needs to be on the offensive end. It's allowed Jordan Pope to free himself up a little bit and be the guy he needs to be on the offensive end. Weaver's also good defensively. His energy and effort defensively, particularly against ball screens and handoffs, has been a game changer here in the second.
Bulldogs called the timeout, trailing by 4. A lot of time left in this one. Who wants it? And now it's Weaver on top of Hubbard. Titus on Ballard. Shot clock down to 3. Does Epps know about it? Looking up, heaves one. Fouled on the elbow. Oh, the call right away from Will Howard. He was standing 5 feet from the shot. And 3 free throws coming for Jaden Epps.
Yeah, you see Sean Miller looking up to see a replay.
It's a 4th on Pope, too, John.
Yeah, that's just... I don't blow that whistle.
Really?
I don't blow that whistle. Hand is somewhat on the basketball on the shot. He doesn't follow through and hack the arm. In this situation, I probably don't blow that whistle.
Lead is 4. 3 free throws for Epps after this. And to me, Jordan Pope was right in the kitchen. He's got to stay in the living room here. Like, I would have called that as a foul and a shooting foul. You tell me.
That's because you're weak like that. Like, I think that's a good contest. Hand is at the ball. He's contesting the shot. As physical as this game has been, I just think situationally, I would not blow the whistle on that. I just wouldn't do it. And I don't even care if I would get in trouble, because in the officiating, they're held to the standard that is you get every call right, and they'll point out the calls that you didn't get right. I just think situationally in that game, late clock situation, bad offense, good defense, contest at the ball, I do not blow my whistle there.
Officials at the end of the shot clock, that doesn't matter, right? They're not taught to consider that, even though I understand what you're saying, right?
They're not. But some of the, go back years, officials get within the rhythm of the game. They see how the game's being played out. In a way, they officiate the game as opposed to officiating the rule book. I think if we officiate the rule book, we are going to stink at putting together good basketball games. If you officiate the black and white rule book, the game is not played in the black and white. The game is played in the nuanced gray. Nothing is absolute on this basketball floor, so I think there needs to be an element of feel. And in that sense, I don't like the lack of feel. And I might be wrong, by the way. I accept I might be wrong that is probably a foul. I just don't like it.
Eps with the season high 24, the lead down to 1. Under 3 to go. 9 ties, 9 lead changes. Mark from downtown. Oh, and he looks up to the sky.
Probably a bigger shot than we know. Momentum could have shifted the other direction. That's a big shot.
Hubbard wanted the foul, gets the whistle. It came late. He was in traffic in the paint, and right on the forearm draws the contact.
You just can't say enough about Tremont Mark here. The defender's going to go underneath. You stay down. Yep, there you go. You got to be able to make that shot. On the other end, I can tell you this, the locals are not happy.
Swain just picked up his 4th. Hubbard to shoot 2. And perhaps the ball does not lie.
I see Rasheed Wallace somewhere. I just don't know. I mean,
okay, so I'm with you on that one.
I just don't know why you blow a whistle there, because I know you're not supposed to consider this, but you got a guy with 30 plus and you give him his 4th foul on something that's nonsensical, and Rasheed Wallace, he's out there. Ball don't lie.
Hubbard went 0 for 2. 82% free throw shooter.
Good possession here is important for Texas. Get a good look and get your defense set.
Here comes Swain. Full head of steam. Bottled up. Pump fake. And one! The Dalen Swain show continues tonight in Austin. He's got 33.
He's really been patient. Footwork, sit down, pivot, pump fake. I mean, this is all pretty good defense, but Ballard goes for the pump fake. Swain with the finish. Now, I would just get everybody from Texas back. You can get your defense set already.
Largest lead of the night. Swain with 34 points. A career high. 14 rebounds, stuff in the stat sheet. Largest lead for the Horns.
I think Weaver's been disruptive on Hubbard, too, just with his length and energy and athleticism.
Well, you know Hubbard wants to take a shot here. Epps will this time. The dive, there's Weaver. Epps corrals it, and a timeout called right before. It could have been a held ball.
Weaver just dove right on top of Epps. Man, we got a good one. I just don't understand who this Mississippi State team is, because they're good. And some of their losses don't make sense. There's the timeout. There's just wrestling match on the ground.
Boy, Pat Adams had to make sure he avoided Weaver as he demonstrated the timeout call. 86-79. So the 2 missed free throws by Hubbard now loom very large, facing this kind of deficit when Mississippi State's had the lead, it feels like, most of the game.
They've really controlled the game, too. I think the biggest thing has been the half-court adjustment, defending the ball screens, bringing the big up a little bit higher, right? Instead of keeping them down flat, and then telling your guards, I don't care what it takes, get over a screen. Don't get hit by screens. You can anticipate the screen coming, get up, get your body into the offensive player, get over that screen much easier. Now, that being said, both teams are setting good, hard screens. And thank God we're not blowing the whistle every time they do. That's another one that drives me nuts. Point of emphasis, clean up screening. So blow the whistle every time someone screens. No, we're fixing that. Game has had a good flow.
It's the opening night of SEC basketball. Here's Hubbard, the step back. That was offline, tapped out of bounds, 1:49 to go in a fresh 20.
Yeah, Hubbard got a good look. Obviously a difficult shot. Weaver almost lost his footing and fell on his seat, but got himself back up to contest an already tough shot. He might be my first team all love to play with, hate to play against right now.
Epps an air ball at Shore. Fell backwards and was fouled in the
Who's that on?
process. They're
They
going to
gave
call
that
it on
Swain.
Swain. That's his fifth.
That's just. I don't know what he could have done. He himself was off balance.
Well, how bittersweet is this? A night like tonight,
Yeah.
34 and 14, career highs, and he fouls out on this call.
Is my silence telling enough of the story?
It's deafening.
You picking up what I'm putting down by not saying anything?
Listen to
What a
this crowd
performance.
here.
So remember what I said about not needing Cam Heide earlier? They take it all back. We need you, dog.
In front of nearly 11,000 fans tonight here at Moody. One more free throw for Achor.
Achor's been really good, too. We haven't spoken enough about him. He has been, like Weaver for Texas, he's been incredibly active.
10 points, 11 rebounds,
Yep.
now a double-double. First of the year.
I like this.
Full
Picked
court
up.
pressure. Trailing by 5. 90 seconds remaining in the game. And we saw a crazy comeback at Stegman earlier today with Auburn forcing overtime. Anything is possible in the SEC. Mark wants it. 3 on the shot clock.
Weaver.
And now Achor. He saves it. Bulldogs have it. Big possession here. Hubbard. That's
Wow.
a 3. 86-84, a minute to play.
Oh, wow. Hubbard's unreal.
Josh Hubbard with 28. He scored 20 in our first 20 minutes tonight. And a timeout. The Bulldogs are right back in it.
There's a part of me that wants to sit there and think a little strategy here, maybe this, maybe that. The reality is you wouldn't have drawn this up. Like, you could strategize all you want. This has just been a playmaker's game. And playmaking doesn't start and stop with making shots or creating opportunities on the offensive end. Playmaking is also what you're seeing from Achor and Weaver. They're just making plays by keeping the ball alive, keeping the play alive, keeping the music flowing, right? Don't stop the music. I'm just looking at that going, well, I don't even know what to tell a guy. I do think the fact that Heide has been on the bench so long is a concern. You've got to get something going where you've got offensive movement to the point where it creates a little rhythm for all the guys on the floor, because if Heidi's the one that gets an open shot, he's got to have good rhythm into that shot and needs to fall. He's your corner 3 guy.
A 2-point lead. Pope will survey, and the shot clock already at 10. Here comes the screen. Hubbard fought through it. Jordan Pope a 3. Off the mark. There's the box out, and the rebound by Epps. Shot clock and game clock virtually identical. Hubbard, lightning fast. Euro. And a putback. We're tied at 86. It was Brandon Walker. What a comeback by Mississippi State. Shot clock is off, and here we go.
I like the no timeout, by the way.
5 seconds remaining. Jordan Pope off the back iron. Overtime in Austin.
Josh Hubbard, just the ability to get to the basket and draw defenders to contest a shot opened up an offensive rebounding opportunity for a teammate to make a huge play. It's been a huge piece of everything they've done. The second half comeback does not happen without him.
Ballard taps it deep in the backcourt, and here comes Hubbard. Bulldogs led forever tonight until Texas rallied late, and then now Hubbard continues a 9-0 run for MSU, and he now has 30 points. Where will the offense come from here for Texas? was stymied. Vokatitis a spin. In traffic, and there's the whistle. Boy, it was soft, but you heard it faintly.
Yeah. You know, Hubbard turning the corner does such a good job of keeping a defender who Weaver did a good job fighting over. I think Vokatitis may have to stay a split second longer. But Hubbard does a good job keeping his body.
Modest Vokatitis at the line. He's got 14 points tonight. Now 9 of 13. The free throw department.
Mississippi State's done a good job of throwing multiple bodies his way. I think it's been tough for Vokatitis because each big that's covered him has been a different look. Obviously, Ballard's a different look than Walker.
Let us make sure that we give credit to Brandon Walker for the stick back after the Hubbard miss that helped force this overtime session. So Longhorns going to utilize a timeout for the Longhorns that evening. So these two teams, they played a ton of close games over the years, including these last two.
It's just such a different Mississippi State team. And I feel for coaches who have to scout and prepare a team for an opponent. Like, I scout in my prep. I don't really prep, care what a kid had for breakfast when he went for 30. I'm really more interested in what do they look like? What are their tendencies? What's their gait like? I thought that was good.
Rebound controlled by Ballard. Fresh 20 seconds for the Bulldogs.
To finish the point, it's just so hard to scout. The team I scouted at Mississippi State's a different team than what we see on the floor. The team I scouted in terms of Texas, you're seeing additional potential, but also some limitations here once you see them in person. So it's getting harder and harder to scout because teams change so much throughout the course of the year.
Epps off the screen. Epps was bumped and a chance for three. Jaden Epps. 26 points, a chance for one more. He's 5 of 6 at the stripe. And the Georgetown transfer playing in his 99th career game tonight. That experience paying dividends.
I will say, the Mississippi State guards have done a better job than Texas guards at earning fouls. You can criticize some of the calls, and I think that's absolutely fair. But at the same time, they've done a better job of getting their body into defenders and maintaining contact, keeping defenders off balance with physical contact, and then going through, playing through the contact.
Epps will splash home the free throw. Jordan Pope on the bench. Dalen Swain is fouled out. Vokatitis will try to impact this game in overtime. And he does there. That's an offensive foul.
Little contact, yes. I think sometimes we officiate the outcome. And I believe that was Epps. He did a good job of selling. I mean, look, who's on who here? I'm not blowing my whistle there in overtime. You're allowing both players to engage with one another, and then you're going to call a foul based on the reaction of one. Not in this situation.
Texas with a timeout. Sean Miller will talk things over. Only a minute 20 into overtime. It feels deeper than that in the ball.
And look how cool Josh Hubbard is about it. I don't think he's broken a sweat yet.
30 points tonight, 3 assists, couple of rebounds. First 2 seasons in Starkville, second team All-SEC. Both years. Preseason All-Conference to start his junior campaign. A little bit of real estate open. Nearly banked it home. Sean Jones Jr. skies in for the rebound. Boy, Sean Miller is livid.
It's tough, though. It's a tough, unanticipated shot. It's not a great look, so you're really not in position to rebound.
Covered off the mark again. And the rebound finally corralled by Heidi. Cam Heidi. Longhorns trail by 3. Weaver probing. Vokatitis on the offensive glass. He lost it. Epps the lob. And Jones finds a way to stuff it down. Boy, Matsura appears to be injured, grabbing that left ankle. We'll stop play for a moment. The lead back to 5. I mean, this game, it was a 7-point lead with just over a minute and a half to go in favor of Texas, and you could feel it slipping away from the Bulldogs.
You got the foul on the three-point shot. Some of the best players for Texas are out of this game right now with fouls.
93-88. Boca Titus, there was contact there from Jones. He'll pick up his third.
You know, these free throws matter. I think if you're Boca Titus, if you're going to get that call, you've got to step up there and earn these 2 points with the clock stopped.
And the only points in overtime coming at the line by Boca Titus. Horns have been outscored 7-2 in the extra session.
I think at some point, you almost just have to trust Tremont Mark. He's just got, it's almost as if this has got to be your game, son. That's it. It's got to be your game. You get to the middle of the court, make a play.
(93-89). Mississippi State has won 4 straight coming into this game. It's the first meeting for the Bulldogs in Austin since 1977. Boca Titus now perfect 4 for 4 in OT. Crowd on its feet. That's the lob was rejected out to Hubbard. Screen by Walker. Hubbard forces the contact and one. Boy, this is a different Josh Hubbard this season. Explosive in his first 2 years in Starkville.
Also just masterful using ball screens. He's just keeping the defender on him. And yeah, Weaver dropped his arm on him. And Hubbard, if you look at him, he can play through any of that contact. Just a big-time play. A huge moment.
Free throw gives him 33. Lead up to 6. Under 2 minutes remaining. You mentioned Tremont Mark, mid-range, short. Fresh 20 on the offensive glass. Mark again. Boca Titus. Johnny was losing his balance. Then came the whistle, and Walker was right there. Well, the bulk of the Horns offense coming at the line from Boca Titus in OT.
If he's not quick about making a decision there, double's coming. I don't think he saw that coming from the baseline side.
I mean, living at the line tonight. 12 of 17. Already his third game making 10 or more free throws. 4 rebounds.
And I think Cam Heidi's coming in for the shooter. Yeah. You know, smaller lineup here defensively. I wonder if you pick up here or maybe even switch a little bit more. It's just so hard. I mean, to guard the ball is one of the most challenging things when you're guarding a guy like Josh Hubbard. Add Epps to that too.
Full court pressure. And Mark on top of Josh Hubbard. He'll retreat. Off the switch. Well, you can feel Hubbard sizing up. Messina Traore.
I mean, go away. You got to match. There you go. Why are you bringing the defender that wants to switch onto Hubbard?
Off the crossover. And Hubbard lost it. Weaver ahead to Wilcher. They're going to count the bucket. Basket interference. That'll make it a 1-possession game with $1:11 to play.
Sometimes I look at coaches.
You called that one quick.
Every now and then the naked eye's right. And then you watch it in slow-mo and you convince yourself 15 different ways what happened.
Well, you could slow it down and convince yourself that Was, in fact, anything. Here's Mark. He's
Gotta
left open. Oh, and he makes it. One possession game again, and it works out in favor of the Longhorns. Mark with a steal. And we're tied. Just a minute ago, John Crispin, you asked, where is Tremont Mark? Is it his time?
It's got to be. And that shot right there, I said it as he let it fly. You got to have it. You got to have it. It's the best look you're going to get in the entire possession. And then he creates his own opportunity, almost hands it over. Easy finish, and we've got a tie ball game. Had a big punch. There's been a counter punch. It's been great.
Welcome to the SEC. What an opening day it has been. We're not done yet. Florida and MSU coming up when we are done in Austin. We've got some business to take care of first. Hubbard picked up by Weaver. There's a separation. And a three!
What a dog. What an absolute dog. Oh, man. All right, Texas, do you have an answer?
Season high for Hubbard. He's got 36. And Mark was bumped by Jones. 2 free throws coming for Tremont Mark.
I mean, this is the first time I've seen him react to pretty much anything, and it was, let's just say, a quiet reaction.
Fun to watch.
Just, I mean, he's so cool about it, too.
One more for Mark. 19 points. It was his first free throw of the game. Lead at 2, and then now, I wonder if the foul fest is coming. 1 of 2. He missed the second.
I think you gotta get up and pressure, and you gotta pick who you want to foul if you can. You got good ball handlers there. You got to double to get it out of their hands. Got to bounce.
Epps stepped out of bounds.
Now, Epps was not ready for the double, but you've got to know if you have good ball handlers that can dribble around the court to dribble out time, they have to bring the double to get the ball out of your hands to the guy that they want to foul. Epps just put himself in a bad coffin corner area there, stepped out of bounds. Who you going to? Tremont Mark's going to bring it in bounds, but I think he gets it back.
Boy, this game with more drama than a junior high lunch table. 22 seconds to go.
Sounds like that was a tough time for you there, brother. Somebody steal your French fries?
Horns called timeout. Well, back and forth we've gone tonight with these two stars. It's been so much fun.
This has been.
And I'm assuming you like Tremont Mark. What do you think?
I do. I think the ball's got to be in his hands, and you don't really have much time. You're down. You got to get into it quickly.
Shot clock is off. 99-97 in overtime. Who wants it? It's Mark.
He wants a 3.
And Mark, contact by a chore. He couldn't believe it. Tremont Mark back to the free throw line. He's 1 of 2 tonight. Both of those attempts coming moments ago.
I mean, I think they spent a little too much time getting him the ball. Clear foul. Not a bad foul, actually, in that situation.
We willed that one in. I thought it was going to be about an inch shy. He got it to go.
I know that feeling, too. You're right. There's a gooey feeling when you don't think you made it.
Mark missed it.
Got to get up. Got to get up foul.
And Hubbard is clipped. He will shoot 2 on the other end.
It's as if they were more concerned with getting back than they were than if the ball was missed. They weren't there. It's precious times. What, 3 seconds off that clock?
Boy, those free throws felt dicey, didn't they?
They did.
Felt dicey.
The first one, he gave him a little wiggle to get that to fall. The second one just missed.
So here's Hubbard on the other end. Josh Hubbard tonight, 10 of 13. Buries the first.
There you go back again. Jordan Pope, David Swain on the bench with 5 fouls. Good Lord. If you told me I was going to have 198, 100 to 98, I'm in.
Sean Miller. His team still in it, even with a make here by Hubbard. And he does exactly that, trailing by 3. Hubbard has tied his career high tonight with 38. Horns got to go. Wilcher. Mark back to Wilcher for the tie. Oh.